Hi, Paula. Wonderful to see you.
Hi, Els. Nice to see you too.
What are we going to do today?
Well, today we're going to be discussing Principle 8. Or speaking about Principle 8, we can choose and direct ourselves to be peaceful inside, regardless of what is happening outside. And with this principle, you mentioned it being a favorite in attitudinal healing groups because so much can be going on outside of us. And it brings us back to the reminder that regardless of what is happening outside, we can choose again. Um, and in your book, Els, you have 10 key concepts, and three of them you've pulled out as with this principle is quite important. Inner peace is your natural state. Happiness is a byproduct of inner peace. The world is a training ground for practicing forgiveness and inner peace. Love that one. So, my question to you, Els, is if inner peace is our natural state, what thoughts or habits tend to obscure it, and how can we return to it more consistently? Rory?
Yes, well, I think that projecting guilt on yourself or on others, so that's what pulls us out of inner peace, and and guilt doesn't exist, of course, but feeling a victim, projecting guilt,
Mm.
that's feeling guilty. That's one of the uh, most powerful forces, yeah, well, to destroy the inner peace we are, in
Yeah.
essence. So we identify with something, or concepts come up, and we think that's okay and that's not okay. That is
Mm.
right, that is wrong. Our inner peace is destroyed.
Yeah. And when you say that about guilt, like blame, when you're blaming someone else, you're expecting them to feel guilty too, aren't you? So that's what you're meaning too by projecting guilt.
Yeah, well, we can project guilt even as someone else doesn't feel guilty at all, but when we
Yeah.
project it anyway, uh, we lose our inner peace. And when the other one is a clever one, he doesn't accept it, or he doesn't own it, because someone else says him you are guilty. But of course, when mostly we play the game of I say you are guilty, and the other one say no you are, or the other
Yeah.
one feels guilty, and this
Mm.
is the game of the world,
Yeah.
playing around with guilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
True.
the game of essence. In essence, there is no guilt, but
Yeah.
the game of the world is playing with
Mm.
guilt. Yeah,
Yeah.
dealing with guilt, or yeah.
Mm. Yeah. I was viewing the world as a training ground for forgiveness and inner peace. How can this shift your perspective with daily challenges when you have this view?
When we identify with anything else than what um, we are essence, of course. But when we identify with something else, we identify with, for example, our body or our hair or whatever. Or our ideas. Of course, we can feel attacked, and we will attack others. When we feel attacked, we will say we defend ourselves, but we attack back. And one way to make a shift to inner peace, or become more in inner peace, is really stop attacking and get defenseless. And that's not very easy when we are used to defend ourselves all the time. So what helps is say, okay, I'm willing to forgive everything. I'm willing to forgive whatever people say, whatever they do, whatever what I do, whatever they think, whatever what I think. And I'm even willing to forgive a glass that it is a glass, or a house that it is a house. It sounds weird, but when I'm willing to forgive everything, um, I immediately come back to inner peace. I immediately come home, and it gets quiet in me, and I can feel that I relax. So I
Yes.
pull back all my projections I have on the world, and when I say I'm ready to forgive, it's like it's coming home. I pull it back.
Mm, mm. Yeah, and that brings you back to inner peace. And doing that on the spot would be so important too, wouldn't it? Like in the moment when
Well, yes,
say if someone's irritating you, like in the moment, just
yes,
forgiving. Yeah.
yes. When you realize you are projecting, when you realize you are attacking with the thoughts, you can ask yourself, is that what I want? Is this what I want? And if you answer is no, it's not what I want, well, then you can say, okay, I'm willing to forgive. And maybe sometimes you even don't know how, but you can say, I'm willing to forgive, even if I don't know how right
Yeah.
now. And I'm willing to forgive so that you every time place yourself again on this forgiveness track.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I can see how that would work. When we're peaceful on the inside, we're better equipped to deal with whatever comes along. And reading about this principle in your book, I'm made aware of the choices that I have and how much I need to realize. And from your book too, just this realizing that the world keeps turning and we don't have to agree or give permission. I love these. Realize that what others do is none of my business. Realize that it's time to take action inwardly when I'm stuck in blame, reaction, conflict, or fearful thoughts. And realize that I don't know the meaning of what I see and what it's about has no influence over my inner state.
Yes, exactly. So when you are in a peace, of course you will see what happens, but there comes nothing up in the sense of that's wrong or that's right or it should be different. So it's you are like a spectator. You just see what happens and you act if action is necessary, but it's not from a personal point of view that you act just yeah you act just when a tree is falling down and you are in right in the line of where it falls, you will step aside, of course. uh,
Yes.
and it's not, oh, the tree should not have fallen down or whatever. You just step aside and okay, and well, nothing
Yeah.
happened, yeah, well, a tree fell down and you
Yes.
survived, it's no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. The world keeps turning.
Yes, exactly, exactly. The world keeps turning, and there will
Yeah.
fall another tree, maybe on you or not, whatever. And it's none of my business. That's you. When you don't take things personal, you realize it's none of your business, as it is not for others. What you do yourself is none of business for others. Yeah, and when you are upset, you can practice this forgiveness exercise. I'm willing to forgive, and I don't know, I don't know now how I should do it, but I'm willing to forgive. And
Yes.
when you practice this, it will bring you inner peace, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
really don't know what the meaning is of what you see. It it just you you just really don't know when you realize it's people do something, you see it, and you feel a judgment coming up, and then you realize, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't even know what the meaning is of this. I just don't know. So that brings you back also, because this judgment goes over there and it's like grabbing the situation, and then when you say, I don't know what it's all about, then it comes back to you and you are home again.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
energy would goes over and then it comes back.
Yes. Yeah. 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 And it's good. Yeah. When it comes back, it feels good.
Yeah,
And
well,
that, yeah, brings us to choice. It's an approach and to seeing all triggers as an invitation. I like that idea. And knowing that I can choose to observe the world or struggle with it. I can choose love over fear, and this will determine my own experience. So when it comes to those triggers, and you may have already answered this, but I'm going to ask it again because I think it's good well, for me anyway, to have these said in different ways. But when it comes to triggers or conflict, How does knowing that you have the power to choose your inner response help, even when you realize that the outside world remains unchanged?
Well, when you start by not taking anything personal, that
Mm.
will be a tremendous help because it isn't personal. Nothing is ever personal. Even that your partner married you is not personal. When your partner wouldn't have married you, she or he would have married someone else. It's not personal. And when your mother treated you in a certain way, it's not personal. When I wasn't born there, but somebody else was born there, she would have treated that child the same way. So that helps. Nothing is ever personal. And of course, in fact, the choice is, do you choose for ego identity or do you choose for essence identity? And when you
Mm.
choose for essence identity, then you know it's not personal.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
when you
Yeah.
choose ego identity, it always comes with pain and with suffering. And when you feel pain or you suffer, you know you've chosen ego identity in
Yeah.
any situation.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
feel pain or suffering, it happens.
Yes.
And it's,
Yeah.
well, that's what we do. That's what we learned and that's what we do until we get wiser.
Yeah. Yeah. Or until we get our power back
Until
to
we think
realize. Yeah.
enough suffering,
Yeah.
let's have
It's
some
time.
fun in life.
Yeah. 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 Stand in my power. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, your
Our,
power, your essence is your power, of course. It's not,
yes.
and
Yeah.
essence is a very sweet and soft power. It's not power like powerlifting or being loud or it's um, just allow yourself to be at home in what you are in essence and stop identification with ego stuff.
Yeah. 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 What shifts when you stop trying to control external events instead of focusing on your inner response to them?
Well, that changes something in yourself because you come home and it gets quiet here. And what you can see is that the world turns on without, the world doesn't need you. Um, but you, you step out of the quarrel and you step out of the arguing and you step out of the war.
Mm,
So it gets silent and you come home and
mm,
that's where you
mm,
belong and there comes a clearness and so all this horrible emotions that come together with all this war and this quarrel they
mm.
just disappear.
Disappear, yeah, yeah.
It gets quiet. It's not boring, but it gets very,
No,
very quiet.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And from there, like you said,
yeah,
like clarity, just to be
clarity.
able to, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's a beautiful place to be. So
mm,
because a quarrel and whatever will come on your path again, but when
yeah,
you stay in this quiet place, you are very equipped to deal with it without
yes,
stepping
yeah,
into it, without being
yes,
a part in the game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, I can relate to that. Els, you have an exercise in your book that gets us to notice when you are in judgment and to say the following. So to say this is what I think I see now. I know there is another way to look at this. I am willing to see it differently. I don't know how, and yet I am willing. And then to repeat this as often as necessary. I love
Yes.
that. 100 times over.
Well,
I just think that's a great one, Els. Mm,
when you start with this exercise, you will see that in the beginning, maybe you take things very seriously, but
yeah.
then there will be a moment when you practice it every day or as often as necessary and possible. You will find a smile on your face because you look at what's this? You know, oh yeah, I don't know what I see. There must be another way, you know. And because
Yeah.
when you once have tasted this other way of looking at things,
Mm.
that is so sweet. So when you want to have an addiction, it's wonderful to take that as an addiction, to see it in another way,
Mm.
because it's just sweeter than what you have ever experienced before.
Yes. Yeah.
And it brings a
Yeah.
smile on your face.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Els, can you share a time when being willing to see a situation differently helped shift your perspective? And, what was it like to let go, even if you didn't have all the answers at the time?
Well, I worked at the police, maybe I told you, and I was, well, they weren't very friendly for me in that period. That is long ago. So I was the first one in the police of Amsterdam that said I'm gay, and then, well, okay, there was like the hunt was open, and and,
Mm.
uh, and
Mm.
it wasn't very nice. So I felt really hunted by them, and I left the police because it was not bearable for me. And I've been very angry about that. And there was a moment that I thought, well, I've been enough angry. I've been angry enough. So it's time to stop the hurt of that and suffering because of that. So it took me a while before I came to that conclusion. But then I practice this all the time. I do, and well, it was a very interesting experience, of course. And but I can put it on so much things in my life. I can put it on my father, I can put it on my mother, I can put it on my brother, I can put it on my sister, on my other brother, I can put it on my partner, I can put it on the neighbors. So sometimes it's like a long stretch, you know, and
Yes.
sometimes
Yep.
it's immediately. And
Yeah.
it's lovely. And
Mhm. Mm.
last year I was to how do you say, a reunion of the Amsterdam police, and that was very interesting. So I saw colleagues, and they say, "Hey, you were gone. Suddenly you were gone." I say, "Yes, that's why were you suddenly gone?" I said, "Do you really want to hear the story?" "Yes, I want to." And
Yeah.
and I was one guy came up to me. He said, "Yes, I was so stupid. I didn't want to work with you. I was so stupid. I just didn't anything."
Yeah.
And later on, I found out my brother was gay too. And I said to my brother, "You have to choose between me or between your partner." I say, "I hope he chose his partner." And he did.
You did.
And then he said
Love.
to me, "But
Yeah.
I had a difficult life too." He said, I said, "Okay." But, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. That, yeah. Oh,
but
and yeah.
the motive to do this exercise can be found in when you think you have suffered enough. And
Yes.
that's a motive to do this, and it will really free you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And forgiveness is a big part of that too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. 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 Well, thank you, Els.
Okay.
Yeah, and what a great principle. It's no wonder that it's a favorite of attitudinal healing groups. Choosing and directing ourselves to be peaceful inside, regardless of what is happening outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Thank
often read it also as we can choose and direct ourselves to be peaceful inside, regardless of what is happening outside or inside.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I don't know if it's a favorite, but what we see is that it very often uh,
mm,
is mentioned because it's
yeah.
so much is going on, and
Yes.
always
Yeah.
directs us immediately to principle eight.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And I love how you've added on and inside because inside of us can often be in turmoil, yet the outside is composed and,
Yes.
not for long. I mean the inside.
Okay.
Thank you, Els.
Thank you,
Love.
Paula. It was lovely to
Okay,
see you. See you next time. Bye bye.
bye-bye.